Retarded. My name is Stanley Burrow, whatever. Here to talk to you about esoteric knowledge and how it is used to run the world. If you're listening on Apple and Spotify, I literally just said that shit already, so yeah. Sorry I didn't do an episode yesterday. I literally have become lazy. I've become one of them people who wants to play video games, and that is sad. It's just 2K. I don't do my part and none of that shit. I just create a player, put that motherfucker on the team, and I'm running wild. But anyway, let's get into it, man. Esoteric knowledge again, numerology and astrology is the main thing that I talk about a lot. A lot of numerology, a lot of astrology, a lot of history, and how the two are used to run the world. And I know that sounds silly. It's supposed to sound silly, so you don't pay attention to what's actually going on. You'd rather, watch sports or, Hannity and Holmes or fucking, I don't know, whatever it is you do. Versus truly paying attention. And shout out to the people that do truly pay attention, that read the news versus watching it, that can see through the bullshit. You know what I mean? But if you don't know this knowledge and how it is being used against the citizens of the globe, then you're missing out. You're missing out a lot. But again, the main thing that I do talk about is gematria, which means geometry in language. It comes from Kabbalah, which is Jewish and Hebrew in origin. But around the 15th, 16th century, this information got taken, garnished during the Crusades, by the Catholic Church. Catholic Church runs the world. Yeah, I mean, they're the figurehead for who runs the world. They're the face of it. Especially if you're in the woke community, then Catholic Church, Jesuit order, they are running shit to a T. They pretty much control everything from politics in damn near every country that matters anyway. But from politics to sports, to movies and shit, everything. They run in everything. A lot of people on the world stage, if the motherfuckers are on a screen, like this nigga Barkley or Trump or any of these athletes, they're controlled. They are controlled. Their lives are controlled and run through this numerical code, whether they know it or not. But this is what I teach you. So before we get into what I need to talk about, which is the Super Bowl, so that's what we're going to talk about. We'll look at current events. So we've been talking about planes all year. You know what I mean? So in gematria, plane crash equals 97, as you see. 97 using the alphabet forwards. P the 16th letter, L the 12th, A the 1st, N the 14th, E the 5th. That spells plane. That equals 48. And then crash equals 49. C the 3rd letter, R the 18th, A the 1st, S the 19th, H the 8th. When you add that together, you get 97. Well, what's the significance of 97? 97 is the 25th prime number. And if you don't know what a prime number is, it's a number that can only be divided by 1 in itself. So that's significant because it's 2025 and we've been getting plane crashes, left and right, planes missing, reminding us of last year when in 2024 we were getting a lot of news of plane malfunctions, etc., etc. Plane equals 24. This is all part of Agenda 2030, which one of the bullet points in Agenda 21 and Agenda 2030 is to limit travel and to control borders, and I think even to remake borders and shit as far as countries and states go. Right, but so how are we gonna limit the fucking traveling? All right, how do you think they would limit travel? Oh, they will scare your ass from flying and shit. How do you do that? We're gonna crash some shit. We're gonna crash a couple planes. 400 million people in the country. What is it if we sacrifice about 67, 100 people? What is it to do that a year? Whether they know they're being sacrificed or not, whether they're really being sacrificed or not, we're skeptics over here. But for the most part, they operate through this agenda. So as you see, in gematria, if you are new, you have 4 values per word, letter, or phrase. Like literally 4 values based in the English alphabet, forwards and backwards, and forwards and backwards with the rules of numerology applied. So rules of numerology just means that every letter with a single or with a double digit value now has a single digit value by just adding those two digits together. So say for instance for the word plane, when you spell out plane, it equals 48, right? P the 16th letter, L the 12th, A the first, N the fourth. We just did that. But when you simplify it using numerology, P would equal 7 because it's the 16th letter. 1 plus 6 is 7. And you use that method for every double digit letter when you're using the rules of numerology, or the cipher of numerology, forwards and backwards. So, 4 values per word, letter, or phrase. We know that numbers are infinite. And this is how we're able to literally read the news. You can tell this is how the news decides which stories they're going to tell you. This is how they decide what time they're going to post the story. And how do you know this, Stanley? I've been doing this shit since 2019, literally. Got a nigga that's been teaching me. I'm gonna play him later, and he'll show you all about it. Probably explain it better than me, even though I'm trying to, I'm working on my delivery. I'm trying not to call you all dumbasses and shit like that. I'm working on it. It's hard, but I'm trying. So, and look, in the news, passenger breaks a window. You know what I mean? Airline passenger. Like, what the fuck? This was yesterday. Let's see. An airline passenger broke a window yesterday. A man aboard Frontier Airlines flight en route to Houston had to be restrained by fellow passengers on Wednesday, travel day, transportation day. If you know your astrology and your mythology, Mercury is named, or Wednesday is named after the planet Mercury, which in Roman and Greek mythology is Hermes, but in Roman mythology, Mercury is the god of transportation. So on Wednesday we get this story. That's every Wednesday you're gonna get a news story about gay people and gay stuff and travel, and that's because Mercury is also the leader of the LGBTQ. Look into Christine Jorgensen. We're not gonna get into that today, but yeah, that's crazy. Flight 40 F9 4856, and we just sold plane equals 48. And I ain't gonna get into that 56 number, but that's Frontier Airlines. And then I just saw today there was some shit with an Alaskan plane. Went missing today. Excuse me, I spelled that wrong. Here it is right here. Crews searching open waters in Alaska for flight that went missing with 10 people on board. That's crazy. And so we're gonna get this all year. So they're gonna scare the shit out of people from flying. And then probably what's car equal? Car equals 20. I ain't seen a lot of car crashes. We see car crashes every day, but they're gonna be limited in travel, man. Agenda 2030 and Agenda 21. Look into that. But this is coming out of Alaska today. Let's see, Alaska in Gematria. Alaska 45/9/117 and 45. It's the 38th day of the year. Language is synced with the calendar. Just like we have 4 values for the calendar system, we've got 4 values for the language. And this is, vice versa. So the calendar is named after a pope. We're on a pope Catholic timeline. I'm trying to tell you. They just recreated the world. You know what I'm saying? On some other shit. But 4 ciphers, just like we have 4 ciphers for the alphabet. So 54 day numerology, 18, 18, and 34 today. Excuse me. I'm gonna be hungry. But I ain't gonna spend too much time on that. We got other shit to talk about before I get into the Super Bowl. Let's just get into the Super Bowl, right? That's what everybody cares about. So we'll talk Super Bowl. And then today's NBA games. And then our little Black History shit that we have. Man. Josh Allen wins MVP. I thought he deserved MVP. A lot of people said Lamar Jackson, but I'm like, Lamar Jackson had a whole squad. But that's funny, right? Black History Month, they get a white with the ring, the MVP. Some racist shit. But, alright, so, Super Bowl. Let's look at it. The Super Bowl date is the 9th. So we know the basics, and if you don't, here they are. We've got 56 date numerology, second month plus the ninth day plus 20 plus 25 equals 56 date numerology. 20 date numerology, second month plus the ninth day plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 20. And 36 date numerology, second month plus ninth day plus 25 equals 36 date numerology. It's the 40th day of the year. 325 days left in the year. The date can be written 9/2 like 92 or 2/9 like 29. We know that in gematria, Mahomes equals 29. He and the Chiefs are trying to win their third game in a row, or third Super Bowl in a row. 3 equals 29. This game is featuring 2 black quarterbacks. Black equals 29. All right, and this game is also about football. Football game. Football equals 29. So those are the basics. 29 is the 10th prime number. You know what I'm saying? So those are the basics, right there. As you see, is the 29. The foot game is on 2/9. So look at the Eagles. How many Super Bowl wins do the Eagles have? How many Super Bowl wins do the Eagles have? The Eagles have 1 Super Bowl win. How many times have the Eagles been to the Super Bowl? What? Eagles Super Bowl record. What the fuck are they talking? All right, so the Eagles are 1-3 in the Super Bowl. They've been 4 times. This is their 5th Super Bowl appearance. They can stay on 3 Super Bowl losses come Sunday. All right, the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. They are 4-2 in Super Bowls all time. They can become 4-3 in Super Bowls, or they can become 5-2. 5 is the 3rd prime number. All right, 5, the 3rd prime number. So they could become, 5-3 or 5-2 in Super Bowls. That would go with the word president. The president's gonna be there. What? Nah, she outside. You gonna let her in? Fucking girls. Alright, I'm going with president equaling 52. 52. Alright. So they can become 5-2, like commander-in-chief, Chiefs, So that 4-2, 5 the 3rd prime, and then we got to remember it's always about the Jordans. So we know that the Jordans that come out tomorrow. Let's look at it. Cool shit. I actually did an episode on that shit like months ago when we were thinking Ravens, but we still was leaning. We had the Chiefs the whole time. But anyway, these right here, these come out tomorrow. Come on, Dad. Damn, when them hoes come out. Oh, it's February. They come out tomorrow, day before the Super Bowl. The Jordan 5s, all right? The 5s. Chiefs can win their 5th Super Bowl. Jordan 5s come out tomorrow. They're black. They are called the metallic 5s. Let's look at it. Metallic. Metallic equals 30. Well, let me see. Hold on. Jordan Retro Black Metallic. Metallic. That's spell it right. Retro. Sit your ass now. Ooh, Metallic Retro 5 equals 156. If we had the S, Metallic Retro 5s, Retro 5, but equals 67. And we know 67 is the Kansas City number. The plane that was leaving, that crashed in Washington, D.C. was coming from Kansas City. Well, not Kansas City. It was coming from Kansas, Wichita, Kansas. Metallic Retro 5s equals 67. Metallic Retro 5 equals 66. And we know that the Eagles could pick up their 666 franchise loss today, or on that day. But Retro 5 equals 81, 36, 64, and 37. And that is significant because we know that Kansas City Chiefs equals 64. As you see, Kansas City equals 67. All right, metallic retro 5s. But Kansas City Chiefs equals 64. Damn. Kansas City Chiefs 64. True. So they can become 5-2 in Super Bowls. Again, the Eagles are playing in their 5th Super Bowl. So let's look at it. Chiefs versus Eagles, all-time record play offs, and I'm about to kill this dog included. 6 and 5. Not a good sign. They could fall to 6 and 6. Metallic retro 5. Metallic retro 5. 66. Chiefs could fall to 6 and 6 against the Eagles all time. Eagles are the home team. All time home record. 2 and 4. Kansas City can improve to 3 and 4. Oh well, no, they're on the road. I'm key, so they're on the road. They are 4 and 1 in the regular season and playoffs versus the Eagles all time. Metallic retro 5s. Actually, what was it? Metallic 51. Yeah, metallic equals 51. Metallic equals 75. Chiefs could improve to 7 and 5 overall against them. You know what I mean? They can improve to 7 and 5. Or if you don't like that, and they could improve to 5 and 1. So that's a double whammy with the word metallic. But on some other shit, Missouri equals 42. Missouri is the 42nd. Well, Missouri equals 42. They could fall to 4 and 2. Chiefs playing Missouri. I like the 51, but that is making me a little bit nervous. No cap. I'm listening for this dog, bro. All right. Let me see. Chiefs versus Eagles on time record. All right, in the playoffs, they just 1 and 0. Chiefs could fall to 1 and 1 against them, or improve to 2 and 0 on the season. Both teams can become 15 and 3. It's the year of Super Bowl 59. 59 is the 17th prime number, right? 59, 17th prime. And if both teams fall to 15 and 3 on the season, 153 is the 17th triangular number. So that means when you add 1 through 17, 1 plus 2 plus 3, up to 17, the answer is 153. I don't like that. Now, the thing that a lot of people are harping on, myself included, is the franchise record for the Eagles. Eagles franchise record, playoffs included. All right, they're 666 and 665 and 27 all-time playoffs included. So, Philadelphia, Church of Satan, all that, 666, 666. They could pick up their 666th loss today. Now, the thing that bothers me is that Philadelphia equals 65. Philadelphia equals 65, right? Not only that, but I've shown you Kansas City equals 67. So I don't know. It's they could pick up their 667th win, which could be a play on 67, just like this is a play on 65. And what bothers me is if we're looking at symbolism with the airplane and shit, the Eagle airplane is it. Is this symbolism of the Eagles taking down the Chiefs? This dynasty is that symbolism. They're the last team to stop a three-peat, right? I think they stopped Brady from three-peating. So, are they gonna do it again? No. Let's look at the playoff record. Eagles all-time record in playoffs. They are 28-26 in the playoffs all time. And they can pick up their 29th playoff win on 2/9 against Mahomes. All time home record in the playoffs. 20-11, they can pick up their 21st playoff and win, but Sunday has 20-day numerology. Ooh. Sunday has 20-day numerology. They could fall to 20-12. Let me see. Chiefs. All-time playoff record. Chiefs are 26-21. Guess what Eagles equals? Eagles equals 22. So they could pick up their 22nd playoff loss. They're on the road in this game. They are 9-12. KC equals 13. They could fall to 9-13. Oh shit. KC 13. Taylor. 13. 5-3. 5 is the third prime number, or 4-2 rather in Super Bowls. Is crazy. Mahomes would be what, 3-2 in Super Bowls when Chiefs equals 32. He's 3-1 right now in Super Bowls. Chiefs equals 31. I don't see them letting a Negro catch Brady like that. But you never know. Chiefs equals 32. He could fall to 3-2. Super Bowl equals 41. He can improve to 4-1. And Mercury equals 41. Gemini, Donald Trump's going to be there. Mahomes is a Virgo. Both are ruled by Mercury. And Mercury is exalted in Aquarius. It is Aquarius season, so that's going in his favor. All right, let's look at Patrick. Mahomes all-time record playoffs included as starter. All right, he is 106-26 as a starter in the regular season and playoffs. This is the battle of two black quarterbacks. Black equals 106. Think about 106 in Park. Black also equals 11. He could fall to 1-1 against the Eagles in the Super Bowl, or the Chiefs can become 1-1 against the Eagles in the Super Bowl. The game is on 2/9. Black equals 29. It's Super Bowl 59. Negro equals 59. Blues 59. We invented everything, but blues equals 59. Slave equals 59. The greatest Negro of all, Michael Jordan, 59. I mean, that's just to put shit into perspective. Motown, one of the most prominent and iconic black record labels. Motown founded in what year? 1959. So this is not arbitrary. This is all by design. These niggas are born and bred to be. So Mahomes can pick up his 107th win or stay on 106 wins. Black equals 106. Battle Black quarterbacks. Prophecy 106. That's synonymous with Philly. If you know your Bible, a lot of people don't. Prophecy 106 and 29. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. Chiefs can improve to 5-2 though if we talking Black prophecy, right? Mahomes Virgo on some Jesus shit. But Jalen Hurts is the sun. He is a Leo. On the road all the time. record. Mahomes is 48-13. Super Bowl equals 49-13. Super Bowl. Oh no, Super Bowl equals 49. NFL Super Bowl equals 49. KC equals 13. Just showed you that. But NFL equals 49. 49-13. So it's hard to bet against this motherfucker, bro. Mahomes all-time record, all-time playoff record. In the playoffs, Mahomes is 17-3. He could fall to 17-4. Philadelphia talks about the number of the beasts. Well, the Church of Satan. I know this don't equal that. Church of Satan. 137-56. But number of the beasts equals 174-66. Ain't that ironic? What are the odds of that? Number of the beast equals 66, and the number of the beast is 66. That's what I'm saying. They gave us the language and the calendar. And it's all about Philly. So Mahomes can become 17-4, like number of the beast equals 17-4, or become 18-3. Stay on 3 losses on 29 in the playoffs. We know 3 equals 29. Philadelphia equals 61, which is the 18th prime number. He can pick up his 18th win. Thing that scares me is I think Andy Reid is on 60 losses with the Chiefs all time. And he could pick up his 61st loss. Let's look at this. So with Kansas City, with Kansas City, he's 143-53 in the regular season and 18-7, playoffs included. So if you add those 7 losses to those 53 regular season losses, that's 60. Now, it's the year of the 60th U.S. presidential election. Chiefs could be synonymous. They are synonymous with Donald Trump, who won that election. But if it ain't, it would make sense that he picks up his 61st loss with Kansas City against his old team, the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? Overall, how many losses? What's 146 plus 16? 2, 5, 6. He's on 166 losses. No, 162 losses. Let me see. Yeah, 162 losses. He picked up his 163rd, which is the 38th prime number. That means somebody would have to get injured. Injury equals 38, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so watch out for that. Injury also equals 97. 97 is the 25th prime number. Philadelphia will be playing. Mahomes equals 34. So watch for an injury here. Keeping, fuck around and be Saquon, get hurt first play of the game by the numbers. God forbid. But on the road in the playoffs, all-time playoff road record, Mahomes is 3-1. Super Bowl equals 41. Chiefs 32. We just looked at that. So let's look at Jalen Hurts. Him and Nick Sirianni are ultimately going to have the same record. He's 51-23. Ooh, 52 Dayton. No. President 52. All that. All-time road home record as a starter. Playoffs included. 28-10. It's the 29th. Black equals 11, but it is the 29th. Black also equals 29. So all-time. I'm so stupid. All-time record as a starter. in the playoff. All right, J-Bo is 5-3. He could fall to 5-4. He's a Leo. Sun equals 54. Didn't think of that. Leo is ruled by the sun. And he could stay on 5 wins. Again, the Jordan 5s, etc., etc. Chiefs could get their 5th Super Bowl win. All right, let's see. Don't look good for Jalen Hurts, if you ask me, all the time. Home record. 5-1. Yeah, that 5. So I think we good with the Chiefs. No cap. That 144 is hard to miss. The 144 here, Jesuit Order 144. And they run the world on behalf of the Catholic Church. Jesuit Order also equals 54. And 153 for that matter. I forgot about that. So pay attention. That 153 could hit here. Kansas City, man. I don't think they're going to. I don't know. I'm worried about them. I am worried about the Chiefs, man. Is this going to be a defensive game or not? I'm sticking with the Chiefs, though. We're going to stick with the Chiefs to get the win. But they are on high upset alert, people. I mean, man. And I believe we will take the over of 48.5. But I got the Chiefs. So, let's look at the history of fucking everything. Real quick before we get into the NBA, I'm just gonna read this chapter again. This was written in the 90s. You know what I mean? Late 80s, early 90s. Why is it so small? I must have fucked up the view or something. But let's see. It says understanding all varieties of the Asiatic nations. When they say Asiatic, they mean black or black people. You know what I mean? It's a little black history for you. So I mean, I don't like that it's so small, but I know how to read. I'm trying to do it like that. Okay, here we go. All right. The date 1914 was the end of 6,000 years that was given to the old world of Europeans to rule over the original man. And they consider the original man to be black. A lot of people do. So understanding all the varieties of the Asiatic nations or black nations, also the racial doctrines as they exist today. Indeed, they furnish a paradox that exceeds any of the extravagances of the best historians. For instance, the Europeans have dictators such as Hitler and Mussolini openly saying that race is a fraud, but cynically using it to unite their European brothers and sisters. At the same time, the democratic nation, which called itself a republic while condemning fascist and Nazi doctrines and proclaiming equal justice for all, was using race as a fetish to keep their citizens and subjects divided. European Americans are set against African Americans by the authorities under the name of the law in those times. The children of Earth began as a single family, and the family circle widened and widened until it broke into segments. And with that come the children and the illusion that the segments of his offspring were not any longer a part of the foundation of their true mothers and fathers, the original man and woman. The Second World War began as a fire set by fascist looters in an African country, Abyssinia, and then spread into the European countries where the fascists and Nazis had more to loot on the surface. The name Adolf Hitler, his purpose, which was world domination, it is a matter of common knowledge that Hitler copied very carefully the Americans' racial tactics in his country back in the times of World War II. All we need to do is look at the racial discrimination in the United States, and we will see that the Nazis and the Ku Klux Klan are very much alike. The American people are not governed by realities, but by myths. At one time, the American slave owners would say that the semen of black men is as black as his face. These teachings were taught by the English, American, and German writers of that day and time, yet the European woman would say, I disagree with the teachings of the European and European Americans, for it is as white as the other races. Scientists who would not dream of classifying dogs, cats, tigers, or any other animal according to color claim to see in the color of the skin of people something so important as to warrant establishing separate and distinct races such as black, brown, red, yellow, and white. For 379 years, and this is as of 1991, the European have been dining race into the ears of blacks and other Europeans. They have written so many books on the subject they could fill up a 3-family house without any room to get in or out of any rooms. Books such as The Superior Race, Inferior Race, Pure Race, Hybrid, Heaven Sent, Born to Command, Racial Messiahs rose to prominence in the world, etc. The great author J.A. Rogers writes how Beethoven, whom the Europeans teach that he was a white man, was a Moor. Remember, Europe is less than 20 miles from Africa. The Africans, such as, but not limited to, the Moors, Asiatics, Cushites, Kemites, etc., were the conqueror of Europe more than 4 times before 1453. Remember this, everyone has 2 parents, 4 grandparents, and 8 great-grandparents. So the original man has been on this planet over 66 trillion years. The first attempt to found a doctrine of race based on physical appearance came with the introduction of the slaves in 1555 in the Caribbean. According to the story of creation in the Bible, the King James Bible of 1611, the 3 people in the Garden of Eden, Adam, Eve, and Cain ended up getting a wife from the land of Nod. These are the pre-Adamites people, and the pre-Adamites could be no one other than the original man, the Asiatic black man of Asia. That is, people who had self-creation and or came before the Adamites. When we look at the Bible in teachings of the true words of God, there could be no doubt whatever that people of the land of Nod were black people. Note, ancient African story goes that all men were originally black, like the night sky, but then Cain killed his brother Abel and God shouted at him. Cain was so frightened by the sound of God's voice that he turned white as a cloud on a sunny day and his features shrunk up, making him the first white man. So do your best to try to remember what happened to you from conception through to your physical birth and until you were about 2 or 3 years old, and you will understand what the European is up against when he tries to unravel what happened in the conception and infancy of the original man trillions of years ago. That's why they keep digging up shit. My brothers and sisters, remember that at one time in American history, tobacco and cotton were needed in Virginia. Tobacco was the currency in Virginia at one time in the history of the country, none today as the United States of America. The European American was farming and selling the tobacco to Europe, and they were not succeeding well with growing, farming, or selling the tobacco in Europe, or the so-called New World. By then, black men were being imported to do the work of planting and growing tobacco and cotton. They may have been unwilling, but they were very capable workers. Had the black man been an incompetent and unwilling worker, he would never have gotten such a bad name as was given by the Europeans. The black man's ability to assimilate caused the slaveholders to invent the doctrine of inferiority to keep him down in America. The European could buy a black man, but by 1668, a law was passed to prevent the original man from buying any Europeans. So if every Asiatic black man were on the plantation, what need would be for such a law? Both science and the Bible agree that the original man came out of Africa. They also agree that man, the original, originated in the tropics because in that type of environment, food, clothing, and shelter were most easy to obtain. Even the Garden of Eden was in India, Africa, and Persia. The people of the region called Mesopotamia and India were very dark-skinned people, for tropical man is never European or pink. He is often very dark, with a flat nose, woolly hair, and very pronounced jaws. Most, if not all, of the ancient skulls so far discovered are of the original Asiatic black man. Increasingly, the European are informing their people in scientific circles that the Asiatic black man is the ancestor of the race of people on this planet. But the black man is even more ancient than the Caucasian or Mongolian man is. The black man is the earliest to develop of the so-called five races. Some would say that the Tasmanian black man is the first black man to roam the earth. Recent discoveries indicate that the Asiatic black man preceded the European and Chinese everywhere on the earth, and that the black people introduced their culture all over the world 600,000 to 800,000 years before the European came out of the caves of Europe. The Abyssinian people teach that they were the first men that were ever in the world, and to prove this, they have clear demonstrations. For they are natives of the African country and not strangers that came to settle there. Those that inhabit the southern parts of Africa were the first living men that sprang out of the earth. The heat of the sun exhaled the moisture of the earth in the production of all the things and influenced it with a quickening virtue, they say. It is rational to conclude that those places nearest the sun should have been the first parents of the planet Earth. The European man is an African man changed by the effects of Mr. Jacob. Everybody knows about Jacob if you're a little bit woke. Jacob is Jacob. The old story that the European lost his pigmentation because he went up north to the cold from Africa does not work anymore with the youth of today. For we ask ourselves then, what happened to the Eskimos? For they have lived in the dark and cold for a long time and do not look like the European. Again, Ethiopians, both in shade and hair and in features, show more in common with the so-called African American, yet are classed by ethnologists as white, a fact that that Ethiopians resent. The black man is the founder of the earliest Kimian civilizations. Just look at the pictorial features of Ramses II with that of Metza, and they look remarkably the same. The pharaohs of the 10th dynasty are from the Asiatic black man. The European stated that the 10th dynasty was from Gala type, and that is clearly known today as black people. The Asiatic features have not changed in hundreds of millions of years, even after the European colonizers moved us from our homelands all over the earth. Let us look at the world's circumcision, and we see that the Abyssinians and the Kimians are one of the only nations to have practiced circumcision from the earliest of times. The Abyssinians are the founders of the Kimian civilization. The original people of Earth are the first to give religion to the world. The black man knew the use of iron centuries before Europeans. The earliest known people of Italy is the black man, as was said, thus making the base of the Latin race Asiatic. Now you see why we said half originals in Spain and Italy. Rome nor Kemet, as well as Greece, had no distinctions based on the shade of the skin. Her extensive literature reveals none, and Rome's attempt at color line begins with Mussolini thousands of years after the fall of Rome. Hannibal and his African troops brought a great deal of Asiatic black blood into the Roman population. For 15 years, they dominated the Romans from the Alps to Naples. Hannibal himself was a full-blooded African with woolly hair, as his coins will show. His wife was a half-original from Spain. Hebrews originated in Africa, not Europe. For the Jew is a Hebrew that has taken on the culture and creed of the Asiatic black Hebrews. Some more facts for that ass. Let's listen to my nigga Zach real quick, though, before we get into today's NBA games. Yeah.
We've got passion, we've got determination. Like, and if we set our sights on something, you better believe it's happening.
Okay.
Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It really is comical the way this federal government operates daily. Of course, this whole Project 2025 thing created quite the stir, and it created a debate on the left and the right. A lot of people on the right were saying, oh, Donald Trump doesn't have anything to do with Project 2025. Didn't you hear him at his rallies? He doesn't have anything to do with it. For all those people who said things like that, what you revealed about yourself is you don't know anything about anything. Because who wrote the Project 2025 document? The Heritage Foundation. And if you don't know who the Heritage Foundation is, they might as well be the Republican Party. They've been that way since the time of Ronald Reagan. They are the main think tank for the Republican Party, which they've been for over 40 years. So if you're sitting there going, oh, the document they plan to have for the next administration won't have anything to do with the president, it shows that literally you know nothing about nothing. Now, we already covered Project 2025 and why the document was created the day it was. We can revisit that, but here's what I want you to see. From the election to today, the day that they swear in one of the main architects of Project 2025, a member of the Heritage Foundation, notice it's 93 days after the election that he gets sworn in by the numbers with 47 dissenting votes. Don't forget the Heritage Foundation was created on the 47th day of the year. But notice, in Gematria, Heritage Foundation equates to 93. And again, you learn this simple code of ABC is 1, 2, 3. You see through the ritualism that goes on every day. You see the elections are perfectly rigged. The news stories are perfectly managed. Things like this, executed to a T. It's been this way with all of these nominations as we've been covering. But again, 93 days after the election, Mr. Heritage Foundation, whose surname is Vaught, which also equates to 93. And again, the difference in these two ciphers is Heritage Foundation equates to 93 when you take the alphabetic order. A is 1 up to Z is 26, and you apply numerology to each letter. So H is the 8th letter, E is the 5th, R is the 18th letter of the alphabet. The numerology of 18 is 1 plus 8 is 9, I is the 9th letter, T is the 20th, 2 plus 0 is 2, and so on. Heritage Foundation, Vaught, both 93 days after the election, voted in. Now, notice, he's 48 years old right now, right? 48. And today's 48 days before his upcoming birthday. Donald Trump equals 48 with the alphabetic order and numerology. The head of the Heritage Foundation is Kevin Roberts, who has the same birthday as modern Freemasonry, June 24th, the day they overturned Roe v. Wade in a big Heritage Foundation accomplishment. But notice it's 138 days before his birthday. Donald Trump, 138 like federal. Remember, Donald Trump's a good Jesuit. The Jesuit order's birthday is the day leaving 138 days left in the year, August 15th. The Heritage Foundation, conservative and religious, just like the Jesuits. The Senate confirmed Russell Vaught with a vote of 53 to 47. And again, today's date numerology is 53. Religion equals 53. Christian equals 47 like Russell. Again, the Heritage Foundation created February 16th, the 47th day of the year. The Heritage Foundation will turn 52 in a little more than a week. The word president, the word government, the word authority, the word White House, they all equate to 47 and 52. Okay, forwards and backwards. Gematria is based on the alphabetic order forwards and backwards. So all of those words equate to 47 and 52. Government, president, White House, authority, all 47 and 52. And just to remind you about a few more things with the Heritage Foundation, the document for Project 2025 was drafted on the Queen's last birthday, April 21st, 2022, the day she turned 96. And remember, Trump came out to Queen, We Are the Champions, in Cleveland at his convention in 2016, a foreshadowing of him of becoming a split-term president like Grover Cleveland. Again, split term equals 132. 2025 is 132 years since Grover Cleveland started his second term as a split-term president. 132 rooms in the White House. United States of America, 132. This country named 132 days from the establishment of the Illuminati by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. That happened in the time of the Jesuit suppression. But it was the Queen's 96th birthday. If you run the alphabetic order in reverse, Heritage Foundation is 96, like Freemason. Freemason also equates to 48 in light of the ritual with the 48-year-old Vaught. Modern Freemasonry's birthday is June 24th. The head of the Heritage Foundation has the same birthday. Another 96 word is Satanism. Don't forget that MAGA is the highest degree of the Church of Satan, and Obama did joke on the 45th birthday of the Church of Satan, April 30th, 2011, with Trump in attendance at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, that Trump would become number 45. And from the Church of Satan's birthday, April 30th, to Trump's birthday, June 14th, is 45 days. But again, here's the leader of the Heritage Foundation, born June 24th. The election was won 134 days after his birthday, and when I say won, I mean with an asterisk, because all these things are rigged. Joe Biden became number 46 exactly 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday, when Catholic equals 46, and JFK got smoked at 46, and John F. Kennedy equals 59, like that was the 59th election. Donald Trump equals 60, like this was the 60th election. Of course, he had to sacrifice his ex-wife 60 weeks into the first Jesuit Ignatian year, 45 years after their marriage. Just to remind you about Trump being criticized for playing Queen, We Are the Champions, when he came out to speak to his audience in Cleveland back in 2016. That was 88 days after the Queen's birthday. Trump, Elizabeth, purple, all equal 88, like the Republican Party, like...
Hey, I just realized Trump equals 29. That's why he's going to be at the Super Bowl. Because it's on 2/9. I'm retarded.
Like ritual, like George Washington, the Mason, that the Masonic City, D.C. is named after. Don't forget what they did to Prince after his girlfriend died the day of the 58th Grammys. Mr. Purple Rain, who had the song Black Donald Trump, he got sacrificed that year by the code. Purple Rain, Freemasonry, Rosicrucian, Secret Society, all 58 for the year that Trump won the 58th election back in 2016. And when I say won, I mean with an asterisk. Again, after announcing from the 58-story Trump Tower, the first degree of Freemasonry is the honored apprentice. Hello. The apprentice equals 211, the 47th prime, the 47th problem of Euclid studied by the Masons. Trump also equals 47. Queen of England, 58, Oprah Winfrey, who asked him in 88, and by him I mean Trump. She asked Trump in 88 if he'd want to be president someday. She was also part of the election ritualism this year, having her adventure with her thing with Kamala 47 days before the election. Of course, Oprah's in the color purple. Of course, Bill and Hillary conceded in purple. When Joe and Jill left the White House this year, Jill left in purple. You pay attention, there's a lot of purple rituals with Trump. And here's what's wild about the whole purple thing. Again, don't forget that the real King James died at age 58. Trump had his convention in King James Stadium, Cleveland, after LeBron won on the real King James's birthday back in 2016. And this year the election was on remember the 5th of November, the day they tried to blow up King James in history. And by they, I mean the Jesuit order. Look up when the Jesuits tried to blow up King James on November 5th. Again, all these things are part of one ongoing story that's leading to...
And as you see, what's Doncic equal, people? Doncic. Since he's talking about purple, Doncic equals 48, just like Donald Trump equals 48, like Cleveland equals 48, like James equals 48, and like he just said, they just tried to blow up British Parliament, and that was on November 11th, 5/11. LeBron can go to his 11th NBA Finals and win his 5th ring. 5/11, 11 is the 5th prime. Being seeing a lot of 555, Learjet number 55, Eagles scored 55 points. They could fuck around and beat the Chiefs on Sunday, which would be a repeat of Super Bowl 55. That's the last time the Chiefs lost in the Super Bowl. But look at this. Doncic is also Slovenian, just like Donald Trump's wife. Illuminati, man. 48. I'm sure he's going to go there next. It's a long episode.
History repeating itself in the U.S. Remember, the Jesuits like fireworks, and they've controlled this nation from the beginning, so why do you think we fire off fireworks really on the 4th of July?
Oh.
Another 4/7. Don't forget that.
And that's another reason why there's fire in L.A., the land of LeBron and the King. King James, they were trying to blow up King James in British Parliament. Come on, man. King James out in L.A. Lakers on fire. Of Great balls.
It would serve the Vatican, and Vatican's another one of those 47 words, like government, authority, president, White House, Caesar. That's another 47 word. But yeah, in the King James Bible, there are 48 uses of the word purple. 48. Isn't that interesting? The real King James died at 58. Trump with the 58th election. Now this one on the day they tried to blow up King James. Just think about it. 48 uses of the color purple in the King James Bible, who was a Freemason and a Rosicrucian. But yeah, Donald Trump, 48, like Cleveland, like James. Isn't it funny how this is my post from earlier this year when we were talking about the Heritage Foundation? And now, again, all the numbers on the post just manifest. Now they swear in the Project 2025 guy. After Trump was on the trail saying, oh, we don't have anything to do with Project 2025. Don't forget, Trump also equals 25 like felon, the first felon president, 25, because it's all that big of a joke. All the trials were a joke.
Get matched today with the tax expert who's just right for your situation. They'll do your taxes from start to finish.
She looks like a Nigerian. I'm not going there.
Let's see.
I'm sorry.
I thought I put it in here.
I was playing.
Here. I want you to see that the gutting of the U.S. aid, that was actually one of the main objectives in Project 2025. By the way, U.S. aid stands for United States Agency for International Development. That's a big fat 201. If you don't know about 201, that is the most symbolic number of the Jesuit cabal. Again, so many 201s in the Jesuit history. They were created 201 months after Martin Luther penned the 95 Theses, the original mission to counter Martin Luther in the 95 Theses. That's why they are recognized by the Roman Catholic Church. On the day leaving, 95 days left near September 27th, it has to do with why Martin Luther King Jr. was killed on the 95th day of the year, and the nation's first gun control came 201 days later. Has to do with why the Jesuits were preserved by Catherine the Great with 201 Jesuit priests, and why the first Jesuit Pope, Pope Francis, is the first to live in Suite 201 at the Vatican. Also has to do with why Prince, Mr. Purple Rain, Mr. Black Donald Trump died 201 days before the 2016 election. Also has to do with why Trump buried his ex-wife on the 201st day of the year, and why Joe Biden sacrificed his son, wife, and daughter in 201 rituals. Don't forget, Inauguration Day can be written 20/1, and it's the 201st day of the U.S.'s age each year when you measure from July 4th. But anyhow, this was one of the things that was targeted in the Project 2025. If you go to the document, it's pages 265 through 269, the gutting of that department. And again, just really what people should take away is they need to become less involved in their political parties and just towing the line and looking like dumbasses, because you saw Republicans everywhere going, Trump's saying he's not part of Project 2025, and it's like, well, you must not know shit about shit, because the Heritage Foundation pretty much is the brain of the Republican Party, and it's been that way for a very long time. And if you don't know that, it shows that your political understanding is not up to snuff. Okay, you know when I learned these things? When I was a teenager. You know how I learned them? From reading. That's why I don't vote in rigged selections, and I don't take sides in two wings of the same bird. I figured these things out from reading. You should try it sometime. By the way, where did I learn about this code of letters and numbers and dates? From reading.
Reading.
Yeah, a book written in 1926, as a matter of fact. Manly P. Hall's The Secret Teachings of All Ages. Until next time, true seeker.
They're not ready, man. They don't want to learn. Maybe they do. I don't know. I can't tell you. I can't add that over there. All right, let's look at today's NBA games before I wrap it up. Where's girl at? Alright. I'm sorry. Family man over here. Family man Stan. Alright. I know it's a lot of games today. Y'all see that nigga LeBron last night? 42 points. Rig Sports, man. Where that damn gematria calculator at? That shit's so rigged. And if you're looking at the Lakers now, notice everybody is trying to now hype up the Lakers like they've got the great. Them niggas look sorry as fuck on paper. Who the fuck are them niggas on the Lakers? But because it's rigged, and we've been telling you they definitely got to win it in this 24. Yeah, just man, look, I'm telling you, he's gonna finish 6-6 in NBA Finals. LeBron equals 66. LeBron James equals 42 and 66. He had 42 points last night. It's Black History Month, February. I butchered that. February equals 42. Lakers 42. Slavery 42. The N-word 42. Nigga had 42 last night. 120 to 112. Some Illuminati shit. Illuminati equals 120. Alright, but anyway, let's look at today's games. If you are still watching, listening, you're in for a treat. Spurs versus Hornets. Friday equals 36. Hornets equals 36. Let's see. Friday is upset day. You know, Friday is named after Venus. Venus is the same as upset in all 4 base ciphers. Venus, 81 forwards, 18 forwards with numerology, 54 backwards, 27 backwards with numerology. Upset, same shit. Look at that. All right, so Spurs are 22 and 26. They can pick up their 27th loss in upset fashion. Meanwhile, the Hornets can become 13 and 36. Again, we know today's date numerology. We've got today is the 7th. Like 27, upset equals 27. Not only that, oh shit, today has 18. Today has 18-day numerology. 38 days left in the year. Second day, or second month plus 7 plus 20 plus 25 is 54-day numerology. 2 plus 7 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 is 18-day numerology. And 2 plus 7 plus 25 equals 34-day numerology. We know murder equals 34, black equals 34, and rapper equals 34. Jesus equals 34 as well. Letting you know that Jesus was black. If he existed. Black 34. I just add another S. Same words, same letters. I'm just lazy. 34. Alright. So let's see. A head-to-head. Hornets versus Spurs all-time record. Charlotte is 23 and 45 against the Spurs. They can stay on those 45 losses. Ritual 45. Pick up their 24th win. They are at home. 12 and 22 versus the Spurs at home all time. Let's see. I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm going to take the Hornets with the points, but I got the Spurs winning, man. Give me Spurs ML. Char plus 10. Fox might struggle, but we'll see. We'll see. Cavs versus Wizards. Wizards better not beat the Cavaliers. But it's upset day. Anything goes, and all the games are rigged. So let's look. All right, in the regular season, Cleveland is 120 and 118 versus the Cavaliers all time. Versus the Wizards all time. Cavs are on the road. They are 47 and oh man, they're 47 and 71. The game is in DC. DC equals 47. DC equals 47. And DC equals 47. That's the road record. But Cleveland 48, man. And we know Donald Trump is Mr. Grover Cleveland. Wizards better not. The Wizards upset somebody the other day, but we gonna stay Cleveland. Cleveland ML. Watch them niggas. Cleveland and the Spurs. We're gonna put a star by both of their names. They are both on minor upset. You might could take the Wizards with the points, but I'm staying away from them. Bucks versus Hawks. Here's the upset right here. Let's look at playoffs included with them. 135 and 131. Atlanta Hawks 131. Using the alphabet forwards. They are on the road. Uh, 48 and 86. Atlanta equals 48. Milwaukee Bucks equals 48. The game is in Atlanta. Atlanta equals 48 in reverse with numerology. Milwaukee Bucks 48 forwards with numerology. They can stay on them 48 losses. Alright, without the playoffs on the road, the Bucks is 43 and 76. We know about 44 in Georgia. The game is in Georgia too, so we're gonna take the Bucks. I think Milwaukee, no? Nah, I'm tripping. Wisconsin 44. So Georgia and Wisconsin both equal 44. That's the road record. Overall in the regular season, the 121. Atlanta equals 120. Shit. I think I'm gonna take the Hawks with the points. Don't Bucks equal 29? Let me see. No. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the Hawks with the points, man. Trey, upset equals 27. They can stay on them 27 wins. Atlanta equals 15. Bingo. I'm telling you, this is gonna be the upset right here. We'll start with Atlanta with the points though. ATL, what is the plus 6.5? And ML, and I'm taking them for the win, man. I'm taking the Hawks for the upset. Heat versus Nets. Today has 34 date numerology. Well, no, yeah, it does. Today has 34 date numerology right here. Heat equals 34, but Nets can stay on 34 losses on the season. But 35 be playing with Miami though. And that 13. The game ain't in Miami. Today has 18-day numerology. Nets can pick up their 8th win. 17 is the 7th prime. They can become 7 and 17 at home. In the regular season, Brooklyn is 60 and 82 versus the Heat on the road. Or at home. Versus the Heat, they are 34 and 38. 38th day of the year, 34-day numerology. Which one? Let's see. Playoffs included at home against the Heat. They are 35 and 43. Heat equals 43. And Miami equals 36. Friday equals 36. I'm gonna take the Nets. Yeah, give me the Nets to shock the Heat today. Nets plus 6.5. I'm Heat. ML super upset with it. I'm taking the Nets with the points, but we're gonna see. Pistons versus Philly. Philly might shock their ass. I don't know though. Cunningham. Alright, in the regular season, Pistons are 159 and 234 against Philly. They are at home. They are 95 and 84 against Philly at home. Let's see. Playoffs included. That shit probably stupid. 106 up, Prophecy 106 and 85. And one, yeah, give me Philly. Philly with the upset today. Philly ML. Raptors versus Thunder. Give me the Thunder ML. The Thunder fuck around lose too, man. That shit would be crazy. That would be one hell of an upset. And the Jazz should get their ass beat today too. Let's look. $116 and 102 on the road. Did they beat the Warriors the other day? 43 and 66. Or 68, excuse me. They're gonna lose again. Trade deadline open now, shit. We're out the playoffs on the road. Suns are 40 and 63. And 108 and 95. I'm gonna take the Suns barely though. I'm nervous about that one. Alright, so that is all we have for today. Again, upset alerts. All teams, can be upset. And we gave you your picks for the NBA, so, pay attention. Choose wisely. Later. Later, Gators.